starting on a positive, it was a tough first half, but that third quarter really got you back in the game. I thought Carl Adam had a real impact on that. Can you talk a bit about his game?
Yeah, I mean, we were struggling to tick the scoreboard over, and it was hard being down 20 and then relying on us defensively and effort-wise to chip away at that lead, knowing that, Melbourne are doing a great job making us have to compete for every attempt. Cole was one of the few guys that we had that were able to tick the scoreboard over. So bringing him out gave us, the shot of offense that we needed, not just for that little stretch, but also when they turned up the pressure again in the fourth and we needed a few more ball handlers out there because they were doing a great job denying Taryn and smothering Taryn. So when Rob was getting denied and Taryn was getting denied, that's why we increased the volume of Kyle today, because he was able to tick quite a few boxes for us. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but in general, we looked better when we were moving the ball. You don't need, a veteran player to recognise that. Those things we addressed throughout the week, and especially at half time. You could see it when the ball was moving and getting through hands. We were able to generate some better driving lanes. When we just kept bringing it back to that middle corridor and forcing it, there weren't a lot of angles to work with. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they're doing a good job denying, and that's usually the counter to it.
And just with Jackson McCoy, he's been out of the rotation a little bit the last few weeks. What's kind of happened with him?
Carl Adam. Yeah.
He's been in the spot.
Yeah.
And just on the first quarter, I hate to bring up the rebounds again, but you were beaten on the last, particularly on the offensive rebounds. I mean, it's been a reoccurring thing, but how do you go about addressing it?
Yeah, I mean, and again, it doesn't look pretty at the end of the box score. It was something we addressed at half time. There's a combination of things. There's some things that we targeted individually, like we dragged KG pretty quickly because he wasn't getting involved in the rebounding contest. And so when he went out there for a second run, he did a much better job boxing out and competing. It's just something you got to constantly keep picking at. It's an effort thing. It's a technique thing. It's a tactical thing. But also with a lot of threes being shot and a lot of threes being missed, there's also the long rebounds. So you don't want to counter it with just having all 5 guys run to the rim as well. You need a couple of long rebounders for the tap outs. And so, again, just something where we'll address and try and work on.
What happened in that second quarter?
It was impossible for us to tick the scoreboard over, and lapses on the defensive assignments. Did a better job in the second half.
Would you say it was at half time?
I can't remember. I know I took my battery out, that's for sure.
And just on Cody Statman, I haven't really had many opportunities this season. Will you potentially get one in the next couple of games?
You don't think Alex has been good?
I think Alex has been good.
Yeah, so we'll keep testing the waters with Alex, and it's on Alex to lose his spot, and Cody to take it from him.
And Chris on Zoom, when you're ready.
Yeah, Forde, despite everything you've talked about, look at the rebounding numbers, you look at your shooting numbers, you still gave yourselves a chance to win the game. I mean, it's only a 4-point game early in the fourth quarter, and making a couple of shots at any point in the fourth, and you could have snatched the game. How were you able to keep in the game? I mean, what are the things that kept you in the contest?
It's frustrating, right? Because you're down 20, and we can sit here and say, you look at our record, and the boys could easily just decided to roll over and extend their Christmas break or the festivities. But they're a proud group, and there's things that again that we talk about that we work on a weekly basis, and for the collective and the individuals, we just really struggled to score, and there was wide open looks, and Melbourne too. Melbourne probably sitting there saying the same thing, where they had some good looks they thought they could have dropped, but we had some real. I mean, we missed some bunnies at the rim. We missed some uncontested threes that we felt like would go in, and then there was a little bit of indecision to shoot the next one because the last one missed. Again, the fact that we brought it back from 20 down in such a grindy game that it was, I'll continue to give boys credit for continuing to compete and fight.
You're pretty happy defensively because they did end up, winning the possession battle significantly, but they still only scored 76 points. I mean, that's a team that's been putting up 100, pretty comfortably.
Yeah, more so the second half where we made some adjustments. I think we got lucky in the first half. They missed a lot of good looks. Just as easily we could have been down 30-40, I think, at the half if Melbourne shot the way they're capable of doing. So the second half defensively was better. But, this has been the tale of us a little bit. Either we're doing a great job scoring or we can't defend down the other end, or we're struggling to score ourselves, and so we knuckle down defensively. That was one of those games today.
Hannah's getting better and better every single game he plays for you, isn't he? And he almost single-handedly got you back in the game in that third quarter. What did you make of his performance? Yeah,
continually getting better each week. I know he's kicking himself a little bit with how it finished out, and I don't have to beat him up over it because, he's a guy that cares and he gets it. But he was massive, especially Wardenberg just coming back in, was cramping and he wasn't available at the end. Tanner really stepped up, and so, he's maturing into his own. Again, a 25-year-old import who's second-year pro, and, one of the things you forget too, especially for imports, is they have to shoulder a lot of the burden, the responsibility. If a local guy has a good game or a bad game, it doesn't necessarily impact the same as when an import has a good game, bad game. So, that's a lot of responsibility to put on the shoulders, and Tanner's doing a good job of, navigating that early in his career.
New Year's Eve game now. It's always a big day on the calendar for the Taipans. And you welcome in a team that's also on a losing streak with the Breakers. So what are your thoughts on that one?
Well, we've got a week to prepare for it, so we'll sort of watch this one and then put focus on that game and that scout, preparing for those guys here.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks, Chris. Done. Thank you.